Scorpio. You will have so much money. And not his isn't a fantasy. This is a divine unfolding. You were guided here because something sacred is happening. Not someday. Now. Between September 1st and 3rd, an energetic portal is opening, a celestial gate where heaven begins funding those who are finally ready to walk in alignment with their divine wealth. And Scorpio, this gate has your name written on it. This message found you in divine timing. Because this isn't just another reading. This is a spiritual invitation, the kind that shakes something awake in your chest, that makes your pulse quicken, your breath still. You can feel it, can't you? That's stirring in your soul. Like something big is coming. Like something already shifted. That's not imagination. That's prophecy. A divine wealth gate is opening and you are meant to walk through it. Right now, the stars are creating a symphony of sacred geometry, Jupiter and Taurus harmonizing with Pluto, your planetary ruler, while Mars trines Uranus, forming a rare energetic path. This is more than astrology. This is alignment of destiny, of timing, of purpose. And it's tailor-made for you. You've carried so much, Scorpio. Quietly. Inwardly. Deeply. And the world often overlooks what you hold inside: the pain, the passion, the vision, the hunger. But heaven never did. God never forgot. And now, the resources, opportunities, partnerships, and unexpected provision you've long dreamed of are being released. Not because you begged for it, but because you were always meant for it. This video is here to show you the truth. Abundance is not something you chase, it's something you align with. It's not about effort, it's about frequency. And your frequency is being fine-tuned by divine hands. So I want you to take a breath. Just one slow, intentional breath. Let it reach deep into your belly. Feel that? That's life reminding you that you're still here. That something greater is unfolding behind the curtain. That the silence wasn't punishment. It was preparation. And if you feel that this message is already speaking to your spirit, I want you to declare it in the comments below. Type, "I am ready to receive divine abundance." Because when you speak it, you claim it. And when you claim it, you become the vessel. Now, let me pause here, not just to guide you but to thank you. Truly. Let me take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude for your presence here. Every like, every comment, every time you choose to subscribe or share this video, you're not just supporting Miracle of the Sign, you're expanding the vibration of faith and prosperity in this world. And trust me, dear Scorpio, the impact of your presence ripples far beyond this screen. From the deepest part of my soul, thank you. Your energy, your light, your openness, it fuels this sacred space. And I say this with love, you do not want to miss a single second of what's coming next. Because what the universe is revealing in this moment will not only shift how you view money, it will reconnect you with why you were chosen to receive it. We're going to uncover the soul contract you made around wealth, dissolve the scarcity that's been clinging to your story, and finally open the spiritual floodgates designed for your name. So stay close. This is sacred ground. And the revelation is just beginning. You were never meant to earn your worth. You were born with it. The abundance you're now sensing, the wealth that's on its way to you, isn't a reward for suffering, nor a trophy for being good. It's an inheritance of alignment, embedded in your very being from the moment your soul chose this human experience. Many of us, especially those born under deep and intuitive signs like yours, Scorpio, have spent lifetimes believing that struggle is a prerequisite for success, that we must prove ourselves through sacrifice, that joy must be delayed, and that having too much is somehow selfish or unsafe. But those beliefs were never yours to begin with. They're echoes. Old whispers passed down by generations who had no choice but to survive. They're imprints left by systems designed to separate you from your divine power. They're voices from your childhood, from a culture obsessed with not enough, and sometimes even from past lives where scarcity was a wound carried like a second skin. But you, Scorpio, were not sent here to repeat patterns. You were sent here to break them. And the truth is, the wealth you're calling in now is not new, it's remembered. You're simply aligning with what was always encoded in your soul's blueprint. Imagine this with me. Close your eyes for a second. Take a slow breath. Picture yourself sitting beneath a waterfall, not of water, but of shimmering golden light. It pours over your shoulders like silk, warm and radiant. But this light isn't just symbolic. Within it flows your inheritance: abundance, creativity, stability, healing, clarity, and yes, wealth. Not borrowed. Not begged for. Not stolen. Yours. Meant for you. Designed for you. With every drop, you are being restored to your original frequency, the one before fear, before conditioning, before you were told you had to deserve what was always yours. This is your divine reset. A remembering. A return. You do not need to chase money. You don't even need to manifest it through force or desperation. You only need to become a match for it again, to align your thoughts, your emotions, and your nervous system to the truth that you are safe to receive, that you are worthy of holding, that you are called to overflow. Because here's the thing: no one else holds the key to your financial destiny. Not the economy. Not your boss. Not even your past. Only you. And you don't have to figure it all out overnight. This isn't a race. It's a realignment. Start here. Become aware of the language you speak, especially when you speak about yourself, your value, your worth. Catch the phrases like, "I can't afford that," or "money never comes to me," or "I guess I'll always be broke." Those aren't just words. They're spells. Silent affirmations we rehearse over and over again until the universe believes we want them to be true. But you can choose again. Even now. Especially now. Try this instead: wealth is my home frequency. Money finds me easily. I am a safe space for abundance. Let that become your new rhythm. Let that become your new atmosphere. Because once you start seeing yourself as someone who already belongs to the energy of wealth, something miraculous happens. The world begins to treat you that way too. And that's not magic, that's resonance. So trust this: your soul didn't come here to live in lack. It came here to learn how to unlock what was already planted inside. And that key? It's already in your hands. Somewhere along the way, you learned to protect yourself from disappointment by expecting less. You tightened your grip, braced for lack, and began to armor your heart, not out of weakness, but out of survival. And over time, that armor grew heavier. Thicker. More silent. Until one day, it no longer felt like protection. It just felt like who you were. But it was never really you. Scarcity is not your nature. Scarcity is a costume you were handed. A script you didn't write. And this is your moment to take it off. I want you to imagine something now. Picture yourself standing in front of a mirror, slowly removing a suit of armor carved from stone layer by layer. Each piece you release carries a belief that was never truly yours. I have to fight for every penny. If I rest, I'll lose everything. There's never enough. I'm not the kind of person who gets lucky. Those thoughts didn't come from your truth. They came from the environments you grew up in, from moments where fear was louder than faith, from people who taught you how to survive but didn't know how to thrive. And now, the weight of those beliefs has calcified around your body, your nervous system, and your relationship with money. But Scorpio, the astrology right now is calling for a radical release. With Mars, your traditional ruler, forming a harmonious trine to Uranus the Awakener, the cosmos is giving you a window to break through what has long been blocking your abundance. This isn't a confrontation. It's a liberation. An invitation to shift from control into trust, from contraction into expansion, from protection into openness. This is the time to pause and ask yourself, what belief am I still carrying that is no longer serving the future I want to create? Write it down. One sentence. Something simple. Maybe it's, I never have enough. Or, people like me don't become wealthy. Or, if I want more, I'm greedy. And once it's on paper, fold it not with anger, but with gratitude. Because even your limiting beliefs were trying to protect you once. Then, when you're ready, safely burn it. Watch the smoke rise. Let it carry your old story away. This is more than symbolic. It's energetic. You're telling your subconscious, I'm not repeating this cycle anymore. As we shift out of the metaphor and back into the practical, I want to encourage something gentle, not a dramatic overhaul, but a subtle reorientation. Start by observing your relationship with money, without judgment. Track your income and expenses for 1 week, not to punish yourself, but to witness where your energy flows. You can't change what you avoid. And clarity is compassion. Begin seeing money not as a threat or a stressor, but as a relationship. Ask yourself, if money were a person, how do I treat it? Do I push it away? Cling to it? Ignore it? Fear it? What if you started to speak to money like a friend? What if you replaced thoughts of worry with thoughts of partnership? And as you do, begin strengthening your own ability to receive. Learn something new, even something small that increases your value and confidence. Take a course, revisit a talent, ask for help, or share your gifts more boldly. The energy of abundance responds to movement. And Scorpio, once you begin to move with intention, life will respond in ways you never imagined. You are not broken. You are unfolding. And the more you release what never belonged to you, the more you become who you truly are. There are seasons when nothing seems to move, when doors stay shut, emails go unanswered, finances freeze, and relationships grow silent. And if you're like most people, you've been taught to measure your progress by what you can see, touch, or prove. But Scorpio, the universe doesn't always work on surface time. It works on soul time. And soul time can look like stillness. when in fact, it's deep, divine preparation. You've already begun to release the weight of scarcity, the armor of old beliefs. But now comes something even subtler: learning to trust the invisible. Learning to walk forward even when you can't see the entire path. This is the space where true transformation happens, not in the visible results, but in the energetic rearrangement taking place behind the curtain. I want you to imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a forest. The trees are thick. The brush is wild. You can barely make out the trail in front of you. But what you don't see just ahead, just beyond the bend, are loving hands moving branches out of your way, sweeping debris from your path, marking a route that leads to breakthrough. While you're standing still, questioning your next move, your spirit team is already moving on your behalf. They're orchestrating timelines. They're aligning conversations. They're redirecting you away from paths that would have wasted your energy, broken your heart, or kept you stuck. What feels like a delay is often divine redirection. What seems like rejection is often cosmic protection. The missed job offer, the friend who stopped calling, the opportunity that slipped away, none of them were mistakes. They were necessary no's that make room for your aligned yes. This is the lesson many resist. You don't have to see the whole path to be walking it. And here's what's beautiful: the universe is always leaving clues that you're not alone. Repeating numbers like 888 or 777. Hearing the same phrase from different people in the same week. Seeing an animal show up in a way that makes your chest tighten or your eyes well with tears. Even your dreams, when they stir you, guide you, or repeat, can carry messages that bypass logic but land right in your core. If you've noticed these things lately, I want to invite you to pause and honor them. Write them down. Speak them aloud. Let them become a dialogue between you and the unseen hands that are guiding you forward. And if you haven't noticed them yet, simply say, "I'm open to the signs. I trust what I cannot yet see." That sentence alone begins to soften the edges of fear. And now I gently ask you, can you think of a moment in your life when something didn't work out, and at the time it crushed you? But later you realized it was the best thing that could have happened? That heartbreak that pushed you toward your calling. That detour that led you to the right people. That no that created space for your yes. We all have those moments. And I would love for you to share one below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. Because you're not walking this path alone, Scorpio. And you never have been. Even in the silence. Even in the waiting. Especially there. Something greater has always been going before you, preparing the way. And now that way is beginning to open. Once you begin trusting what you can't see, the universe begins speaking louder. Not with words, but with patterns. Numbers. Symbols. A whisper in your chest that feels like it didn't come from you but somehow speaks to you directly. Scorpio, in these next few days, you'll likely start noticing signs that may seem subtle but carry extraordinary weight. These signs are not random. They are responses. Responses to your readiness. Responses to your alignment. Responses to your willingness to walk the path of wealth with integrity, clarity, and quiet power. You see, the universe doesn't always speak in logic. It speaks in rhythm, in synchronicity, in what I call cosmic codes. And when you learn to interpret those codes, you unlock a deeper, richer flow of support. Not just emotionally, but tangibly in your finances, your relationships, your creativity, and your confidence. Let's start with some of the number codes you might encounter. Repeating 111 is a powerful prompt to start again. It's the universe turning on a spotlight and saying, this is a moment to reset your direction. If you've been waiting for a fresh start or wondering if it's time to take action, 111 is a green light. Trust it. Then there's 888, the frequency of financial flow. This number doesn't just represent money. It reflects the vibration of prosperity that is sustainable, sacred, and soul-aligned. When you see 888, you're being reminded that you don't need to chase money, you need to become the type of vessel that welcomes it. You may also notice 444, a beautiful assurance that you're not alone. Even in your doubts or delays, there are energetic forces supporting and surrounding you. It's the numerical signature of grounding and presence. Of being guided even when you're uncertain. And then there's 1155. This one is rare. It usually appears when a portal of transformation is opening, especially around your purpose and prosperity. When 1155 shows up, it's as if the universe is handing you a map to the next version of yourself and saying, you're ready. Walk through the gate. But numbers aren't the only language being spoken here. Over the next 3 days, I invite you to open your awareness to 3 kinds of signs that may try to get your attention. The first is sound. Maybe you overhear a phrase while waiting in line that directly answers a question you've been holding in your heart. Or someone mentions a topic out loud that you've been silently researching. When this happens, pause. Ask yourself, why did I hear that at this exact moment? The second is color or animal symbolism. Maybe you keep seeing a certain bird, or a specific color seems to follow you throughout the day. These aren't just aesthetic coincidences, they're vibrational nudges. Each animal, each color holds a frequency. And that frequency is a key meant to unlock something within you. The third sign is perhaps the most powerful, your own inner knowing. You might feel pulled to reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in years. Or you may suddenly receive an idea, clear and whole, that appears without explanation. That is your intuition, not a guess, but a remembering. Each evening, before you sleep, take 5 quiet minutes to reflect. Ask yourself gently, what did I notice today? What stood out? What repeated? Where was I being guided? Write down 3 things even if they feel silly. This is how you begin building fluency in the language of alignment. Over time, you'll begin to trust what your body feels before your mind has proof. Remember this, Scorpio, you are not being teased or tested. You are being trained. And this training isn't punishment, it's preparation. You are being gently, but deliberately, shaped into someone who can carry wealth with grace, who can receive without fear and give without depletion. So if you start seeing signs, don't just notice them. Honor them. Follow them. Act on them. That's how you unlock the current. That's how you signal to life itself, I am ready for the wealth that matches my truth. And trust me, when you do, it shows up. When you begin to notice the signs, the numbers, the nudges, the dreams, and allow yourself to follow them, something subtle begins to shift. The energy around you softens. The world no longer feels like something you have to fight. And that softening creates space for something else to rise. Gratitude. Gratitude isn't just a polite emotion. It's a magnetic frequency. It's the energy that tells the universe, I see what you've done. I honor what I've received. I'm ready for more. And that more isn't always material, but it often includes the very things you've been quietly asking for: clarity, peace, purpose, and yes, provision. You see, wealth doesn't stick where there's fear. It flows to where it feels safe, appreciated, and respected. And Scorpio, you are learning to become that space. Not by pretending everything is okay, but by choosing to focus on what's already good, even in the middle of what's still unclear. It doesn't mean denying the challenges. It means choosing to anchor into the moments that restore your strength. A warm cup of coffee. The kindness of a stranger. A quiet breath in the middle of chaos. A moment of silence that somehow says, you're not alone. When you focus on what you already have, you begin to attract more of what aligns with that frequency. This isn't just spiritual theory, it's energetic law. What you acknowledge expands. What you appreciate multiplies. But gratitude alone isn't enough. Gratitude is the door and purpose is the compass. Let me ask you this gently: if you received $1 million today, what would you do with it? Would you move to a different place? Would you help someone you love breathe easier? Would you invest in something that makes your heart feel alive? Would you rest? Would you build? Would you give? These are not hypothetical questions. They are invitations to clarify the why behind your desire for wealth. Because when money has no purpose, it loses direction. But when you give it a mission or reason, it flows faster, stronger, wiser. Abundance loves to serve. It wants to support healing. It wants to support beauty. It wants to support growth, freedom, and creation. When you know your why, money stops being something you chase and becomes something that chooses you back. This is why so many people who suddenly receive large amounts of money lose it just as fast. They had no energetic structure to hold it. But you, Scorpio, are building that structure now. Through awareness. Through clarity. Through daily rituals that center you in the energy of gratitude and conscious purpose. If you want to begin today, keep it simple. Each morning, write down 10 things you're grateful for, even if they're small. Especially if they're small. And each night, take one moment before sleep to speak a thank you for something unseen that's still on its way. This trains your nervous system to trust, your heart to stay open, and your mind to stop expecting lack. And above all, release any guilt you may feel for wanting more. There is nothing wrong with desiring wealth, especially when your heart intends to use it to restore, uplift, and build. You were never meant to feel ashamed for wanting to thrive. That guilt was inherited, conditioned, or taught. It's not yours. Wealth in your hands can become a tool of light, not a weight. Not a weapon. Not something to fear. So let yourself want more, not from a place of greed, but from a place of truth. Because what you want may very well be the very thing the world is waiting for you to create. And so here we are, Scorpio, at the threshold. You've walked with me through the signs, the shifts, the clearing of old energies, the recognition of your purpose, and the soft yet powerful vibration of gratitude. Now comes the moment that changes everything, the moment you remember that the gate to divine wealth is not locked. It was never locked. It has always been waiting. For you, the question is no longer, will abundance come to me? The real question now is, will I choose to open the door? Because no amount of astrology, angel numbers, or aligned transits can take the step for you. Only you can make the decision that you are ready, not someday, not when you feel more healed, not when you have proof, but now. In this breath, in this beat of your heart. You are no longer the one waiting on fortune to find you. You are becoming the one who creates wealth through conscious choice, through daily alignment, through tiny moments of faith practice consistently. Abundance is not far away. It's not in a distant version of your life that looks more perfect. It's standing right outside your door, and all it's waiting for is your trust to turn the key. So let me ask you something gently. What is one action you can take today that honors your future wealthy self? Is it writing in your abundance journal tonight? Is it forgiving an old story? Is it allowing yourself to want more without apology? Or is it simply sitting with your hand over your heart and saying, I'm open now? I invite you to reflect deeply. What does divine wealth mean to me, and what will I do with it when it arrives? Let that question guide your next step. Let it shape the way you speak to yourself, the way you notice signs, the way you spend your energy, and most of all, the way you believe in your own worth. If this message has resonated, if even one phrase found its way into your soul today, please take a moment to comment below with your angel number 888, 777, 1155, or one that keeps following you. Let the universe know you're listening. And if your heart feels ready, write, I am ready to receive divine abundance. Say it as a prayer, as a declaration, as a confirmation. And from my heart to yours, thank you. Thank you for showing up. For watching until the end. For supporting this sacred space here at Miracle of the Sign. Every like, every comment, every subscription allows this channel to keep delivering healing, insight, and divine timing into your life. So please, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Miracle of the Sign, and share this message with someone who needs it. May the light of the stars, the clarity of your soul, and the wisdom of your heart guide you gracefully through this gate of wealth. And when you walk through, may you never forget, the key was always in your hands. You are ready. You are chosen. And the time is now.